Hey everybody, Sarah here. So I wanted to hop on here and talk to you about reconciling. So that might sound like another language to you. What reconciling is taking what your bank or whatever documents you have and comparing them to what your accounting software shows. So as time goes on, you might enter in your expenses into your accounting software. At the end of the month or the end of the quarter or whenever works best for you, you can sit down with some paperwork, the dreaded paperwork, and compare what you have in your records to what maybe your credit card shows or your bank shows. So why is that important and why should you care? Because this is why. I'm going to put an actual number to why you should care. So this is a credit memo that I got from one of our suppliers, and I blocked out their name, but I'm going to push it up here so you can see how much it's for. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. There you go. Do you see how much that's for? $1,400 and change. That's a credit memo, people. So that is a charge that was on our account for a barbecue grill. So this particular supplier said we bought a barbecue grill. One of our guys picked it up, which we did not. So whenever they charged our card, they charged us for a lot of legitimate supplies and some supplies that weren't legit, such as this barbecue grill. So there's 1,400 reasons to reconcile, right? I cannot tell you the number of times that I have caught illegitimate charges on our account. Thousands and thousands of dollars. Yes, it does take time to reconcile. That's absolutely true. It has been worth it because A, I know that all of our expenses are entered, right? So when we sit down and do our tax returns, we can say all of these expenses are legitimate things that we have paid for, and I'm the receipt Nazi, right? So I'm always the one who's after the cruise to turn in those receipts. So if I am missing any, because I'm checking my credit card statement or I'm checking my bank account, then I can go to them and say, hey, I need these receipts so that come audit time, I can prove these are the expenses that we had. Make sense? Okay, so then also another reason you want to reconcile is so that you know your true cash flow. So, for example, you've got your account balance in your accounting software, right? So your accounting software is going to say what your banking account balance is. You also have the bank's version of that same thing. Your bank is saying you have this much money in the bank. They don't always match, right? Because sometimes you've written checks and they haven't cleared yet, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you have people who never cash checks. Sometimes somebody writes a check and you don't know about it. So those are all important things to take into account, and reconciling will help you catch all those things. If you're a company that accepts credit cards and you have to manually enter them into your accounting software, that's a place that a lot of mistakes can happen because it's manual entry. Reconciling will help you catch that and make sure you accurately charge your client, and it could go both ways. Maybe you overcharged, maybe you undercharged. So there's a lot of really good benefits from reconciling, and I don't know if you saw, this is a legit receipt. This is from December of 18. So 1,400 reasons why. And for some companies that would stand out to you. For some companies you wouldn't notice, right? Oh, and here's a really good story for you. So a restaurant was having their grease vents cleaned, and for whatever reason they had a checkbook that was accessible by the repairman. So while he was there, now this is all in hindsight, right? So while he was there, this repairman jotted down those account numbers. He then went and paid his cell phone bill out of that restaurant's account. Are you with me so far? And this went on for months and months and months. Obviously, once they caught it, it was easy to figure out because he was paying his cell phone bill, so they had his phone number. But if that business had been reconciling, they would have noticed it the first month. It wouldn't have gone on for months and months and months, and they wouldn't have had the trouble of all that money trying to recover it. So same trouble with the law and all that, but not out nearly as much. So there's a lot of reasons why reconciling can really benefit you, and maybe that's not your thing. Maybe you watching this, reconciling is like we said another language for you, keep doing what you're good at and find someone who's good at reconciling, who's good at the books, someone like the Green Executive to give you a hand with it. And that's what we're here for. So you can find out more at thegreenexecutive.com. We'd be happy to help. Books are my jam, so I'd be happy to do that for you so that you can focus on what you enjoy and what you do best.